Time. Place. Monkey business.
Really?
One-stop shop for everything geeky. I had some sugar before we started recording. This is your host, IMC, and I might be a little bit more wired than usual. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Join us this week as we discuss the CW hit television show Supernatural. And after that, stick around for our upcoming events and our question of the week. Hi.
Hi.
You should have seen everybody's look. As I jump into that, they're like, oh, here we go. There was no shock. There was no like, it was just everybody's shoulders kind of slumped. Oh, there he goes again.
You know, I really thought about denozoing you as I came by.
Yeah,
I really thought you were going to.
I really expected
You
it
saw
myself.
that I paused.
Yes.
Because I was helping Alana with her
Gib
mic.
slap. You were going to
I was going to Gib slap
It was a
him.
denozo coming. I get it.
really thought about it, but no.
In the studio with me, the ever-legendary Billy DeTore. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Chris.
How are you, Billy?
I'm good.
Did we have a good week?
I did.
Good
Yes.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you? Miss Tanya Metris is on the other end of the table from me, thank God.
Your character could die later.
Hey, you know what? 3 levels in, I'm not that attached to him just yet. Besides, let me borrow a phrase from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Strike me down and I will only come back more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
You will get a little tiny stick.
Yeah, that's okay. You've seen me twist the rules around enough. Producer
Evan.
Sherry is in the middle. Hi, Producer Sherry.
Hello.
Sherry.
No, we weren't doing that this
Sherry,
time.
baby. What? I
No
did
Frankie
it anyway.
Valley. No Frankie Valley.
Oh, come on. Frankie Valley's classic. It's good stuff. It's good to see you, though.
Oh,
How was your week been? As you're wolfing down a half moon pie.
Cookie.
half moon cookie.
Half moon cookie.
Not bad. A
Not
little
bad.
busy.
A little busy?
Lot busy.
Yep. We have not run over any mailboxes lately.
Not that I'm aware of.
That is good stuff. Not that I'm aware of. There's a scary response if I ever
day
heard
is
one.
still young.
The day is still young. And, you know,
There'll be updates
there was
at the end of
that,
this
there
podcast.
was that one blackout on the way down to the throughway.
I have only had one moment of disassociation in my entire life, and
Yes.
it was in a car.
Okay.
You've met my cousin Melanie.
Yes, I have.
She's a wonderful woman.
True.
She's a scary driver.
Also true.
There's a road in Utica called the Parkway.
Okay.
It's not a very fast road.
No.
It's a pretty busy road, though.
Yes.
I remember getting on the Parkway.
Uh-huh.
I remember getting off the Parkway.
You don't remember the terror in between.
No. This was back in the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
And and you'd have to know Utica to know how appropriate this is. It was a couple of Italian guys in an IROC Z.
Sounds fairly stereotypical.
And we were young, cute, and blonde.
Yes.
And they started catcalling us. Mm-hmm. Melanie ran them off the road.
Oh, no.
Boy.
She says, I have no proof, but she says that's what she did. I remember them catcalling. I remember they were not near us when we got off of the Parkway.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
All I can tell you.
Wow. To my immediate left, none other than the legendary Sybil.
Hi.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
Good.
I'm so happy
2 weeks in a
you got
row.
to hang out with us 2 weeks in a row.
I know, it's weird.
That is not common.
It's not coming
We're
up.
still making the push to get you back up here on a regular basis.
Yeah, next time I think I'll be up might be the springtime. So it's gonna be
You're not going to come up at
long
Christmas
break.
time?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see what happens and see
It's-
how the new Mini handles snow.
Okay.
I
It's
haven't
that
driven it in snow
horrible
yet.
stretch from like Erie to Buffalo where
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah,
Get a little-
that's the scary part. The
little
rest
dicey.
of it's fine. but
Okay.
That's scary.
I've
through
never
Erie.
driven through Pennsylvania that it was not snowing. Ever.
And that's
Wow.
especially in her road trip in August, which was
It
kind of
was
weird.
really
but-
crazy.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
Actually, it was September.
Nice.
It was Labor Day weekend. No, it did not snow. It was actually really hot that weekend, but I did drive through Pennsylvania once then. But everything else was in the winter.
Okay. And then there's the far end of the crescent moon here at this table of ours. Sherry's bouncing baby girl. Hello, Ilana.
Hello.
There she is, the monk.
And she does bounce.
She does. She jiggles. It's cute as hell.
You should have seen her bouncing in the studio
Oh my God, she's the
earlier.
Energizer Bunny. It's amazing. I'd love to be 19 again myself. Holy Moses.
I'm not usually like that, I promise.
Oh, baloney. Baloney. I've known you most of your life. No.
You've never seen me on a real lazy day. I don't move.
Is she related to a sloth that day?
Yes.
Okay. So
Most
it's either
teenager.
a monkey or a sloth.
There you go.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Ooh, nap. Gotcha.
I could go for one of those right now.
Oh, I'm telling you. All right.
So what are we doing today?
We are going to be chatting about some Supernatural.
Yum.
We're going to start from scratch. Redneck Saving the Universe. And Season 1, Episode 1. So we're going to take a quick break so we can gather our thoughts and expect the girls on the panel to be doing a lot of fangirling.
I want to know when they switch over to, like, put flannels on Sam. I have to see what episode that is.
Is when he
Just
starts
start
wearing flannel.
rewatching it.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure, like, maybe episode 3, he has flannel already.
I'm on I just finished episode 3.
T-shirts. He does a lot of T-shirts
He
in the
does
early
do a lot of
days.
T-shirts in the early
T-shirts and barn coats.
He's very
Yeah.
young.
So,
He's still a college student.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, he's about to be a college dropout, actually, at the end of the first episode. But we'll talk about that in a moment. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll jump into talking about Season 1, Episode 1 of Supernatural.
Comedian Kathleen Madigan on Scary Movies versus Reality.
When my friend is a DVD distributor, and he's like, you know what, people love horror movies because teenagers, they love to pay to be frightened. I go, that's because they have not lived long enough to know that real life will scare the out of you. There is no reason to go pay to be scared. Because at this age, I could care less if a vampire walked in my house. I truly wouldn't even blink an eye. But look at this mole. Yeah, that scares me. Look at that mole. Yeah. It's got ridges on it now. It didn't 3 weeks ago. But I don't have time to go to a doctor, so I just ask other comedians. They're like, hey, is that look up to you? And they go, no. I go, cool. And then I go have another beer and forget about it.
Supernatural is an American dark fantasy television series created by Eric Kripke. It was the first broadcast on September 13th, 2005 on the WB and subsequently became part of successor the CW's lineup, starring Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester and Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Chris is not going to be able to get through this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I expected that from both of you, as a matter of fact. The series follows two brothers as they hunt demons, ghosts, monsters, and other supernatural beings that go bump in the night. We're going to chat a little bit about the pilot episode, the very first episode, where Sam and Dean were trained by their father to hunt creatures of natural origin. Now their father has mysteriously disappeared while hunting the demon that killed their mother 22 years ago. There is a ton of trivia behind this.
Oh, there's a lot more that I could have put.
And I'm sure there's a lot more. But,
Do you remember when I was afraid of the dark? I was 9. Yes, you should be afraid of the dark. You know what goes on in the dark. He gave me a 45 Colt.
Yeah.
What was he supposed to do? He was supposed to tell me not to be afraid of the dark. Of course you should be afraid of the dark.
I love that we have the trifecta of women.
Right.
Sam, Dean, Cass!
We don't even have Castiel yet.
Cass doesn't come along until, like, what, season 2 or 3?
4.
Season 4? Okay.
So the Cass girl at the end of the table knows.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Is, for me, having watched most of Supernatural, I have not been good about keeping up with seasons 12, 13, and 14.
They're not as good.
I know they were not as good. I know they kind of.
But there's some good episodes.
Yeah,
There's
but
good episodes.
It feels like the series is getting tired at this point. However, with that being said, we can armchair quarterback that down the road. So we want to focus on the first episode. For me, I like going. It's my first time going back to the beginning in a long time with this series, and so for me, I'm looking for where are the seeds of the characters. Where I've seen where they've evolved to. Were they apparent right from the first, from the outset? And you can see some of the strains of each personality. Like Sam is the bookworm, and he's very reticent. And if there's ever anybody who's going to give up on hunting, it's Sam. He does it more often than not. So I see that right from the beginning that he's never really wanted to be a part of the life, but he gets into it. And then Dean, I really wish Jensen had kept his normal voice because he's got that in the later seasons. It grows more and more. He's got that gruffness that he's putting it on. It's a voice that he's putting on for the character. And it feels like if he just dropped it and talked like he normally does, it would have been fine. So those are the two observations I make right off the bat.
This is the very first episode I've ever seen of this show. I've never seen it before.
Really?
And,
Okay.
and a couple thoughts as someone that's never seen it before. You've referred to it as like rednecks chasing ghosts.
Yes.
Until you said that, it didn't occur to me they were rednecks. I don't know where. Does that get established later?
They're
No,
from
it's just
Iowa.
well, they're from Iowa. They have Kansas license plates, Ohio license plates from time to time. It always has this Midwestern
Because
feel to
when
it.
I
And
think
then
of
you get
Very
Bobby.
Midwestern.
And then
Yeah.
you get Bobby.
Well, when you meet
Bobby's
Uncle
a redneck.
when you meet Uncle Bobby, he's he's like their mentor of sorts. He's their oracle.
because if I'm looking at them, redneck isn't the word that comes to mind.
It's not my first choice of word.
Well, by the end of the first season, when I was watching it the first time around, is when I came up, and that appellation is just entirely my doing. I never was
unless they're
influenced,
cover boys for Hillbilly Life or something.
Well, because Sam's going to Stanford.
Yeah.
So he's in California.
yes,
See,
But he
I
doesn't
took
have-
it as California.
He doesn't have that surf.
never really had the surf
No.
mentality. No,
No, because
He's a bookworm.
and he's spent most of his life traveling in the Midwest.
as
That's where a
the
lot of
first
it-
series goes through and into the second, as you start meeting other hunters and you realize that it's not just the Winchester boys, but there's others throughout the country that are hunters. It always struck me as you got some of your good old boys out hunting, and if they aren't hunting, they're fishing. And that was the vibe that I got when you meet Bobby Singer.
Well, in the later
Ash. When you meet Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the later seasons, you get that when you have the men of letters versus the hunters.
Uh-huh.
Because the men of letters is the British
Proper.
proper.
Prim and proper.
Yes.
This is the way we do it.
Right.
I always have this little image stuck in my head from one episode where you've got this girl who's in a bug, and she's reaching in, she's got one of her legs out, she's gotten some guy to come over to try and help her, and it's a monster that she's been trying to catch, and she just takes it
She
out.
ends up being the hunter. Yeah, it had a very first episode of Buffy vibe to it.
and I was just like,
What was first, this or Buffy? I'm assuming Buffy.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, this one, Supernatural, popped up just as Charmed was starting to wind down. And so this was going to be the kind of handoff show. But if I remember, no, because they were in different networks. Never mind that. But I think what was happening is in Charmed, they were introducing the older versions of Piper's kids in Charmed. And so they were kind of setting it up to split the two boys off to be doing like a spin-off of Charmed. And then Supernatural hit the scene, and you already had two brothers fighting supernatural things, paranormal. And so that kind of cut the legs out. And so when Charmed went away, that was it. It was done. There was no spin-offs or anything from there. They got kind of beaten to the punch.
Basically, this is Scooby-Doo as if there were actual monsters and not
There
just
is a
old
Scooby-Doo
Mr.
episode.
Not
Yes.
just old
Scooby-Doo
Mr. Jackson from the amusement park wearing
Right.
a mask.
Yes.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the original version of it is that the Winchesters were supposed to be a couple of guys who were just investigating urban legends.
Reporters. They were supposed to be reporters traveling around and investigating.
Kolchak the Night Stalker.
There it is.
Yeah, that was the original concept. Kripke pitched that, and they did not like it. So he came up with this, okay, how about two brothers hunting monsters?
Instead of
Go
Darren
for it.
McGavin, you got hot guys.
There you go. Well, I don't know. Darren McGavin was pretty. Never mind. The show was pitched as a supernatural Star Wars with Dean being Han Solo and Sam being Luke Skywalker. They actually, the one piece of trivia I remember is that the actors auditioned for the reverse parts.
Yes.
No, I don't think.
Jensen?
Jensen was offered Sam.
Oh, he was offered Sam, but chose to go
And
with
then
Dean.
Jared came in after, and Jensen's like, no, he's a much better.
He's Sam.
Sam.
He's a much better Sam. I'll take Dean.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, okay, we can do that.
So
Yeah.
So it starts off with a flashback to when the Winchesters were little, and so you see mom and dad and the two boys, and it's very suburban, and everything's happy and wonderful, and then and then the seriousness begins. The music changed.
take your brother and run.
Yeah.
Dean was about, what, 9, 10?
Four.
4 or 5.
He was 4.
Yeah, he's not.
Dean was 4?
Yes.
He's not supposed to be that much older than
Well,
Sam is, because Sam is getting ready.
He looked a lot older than 4.
No.
Well, you got to remember, Sam is about to go into law school. All right, and Dean, about halfway through the episode, that first episode, says, "I'm 26." So you can kind of do the math. There's probably a 4 or 5 year age difference between
Yeah.
the two of them.
Sam's 22 in this episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Which they do mention, I think, at some point.
the ominousness begins when Mom Mary wakes up in the middle of the night because she thinks something's not right, and she goes to check in on the baby Sam. And
she
sees
thinks John's there.
She thinks it's John standing in the shadow, standing over the crib. So she walks away. She goes downstairs to find John actually sitting in the chair in the living room watching TV. He's out cold, so she goes running upstairs, and you don't know what she encounters.
Right.
But you hear her scream. That wakes up John. John goes running upstairs, and he finds Mary pinned to the damn ceiling and on fire because. Damn! You want to make a first impression.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing is noticing the blood dripping onto Sam's
I'm jumping
head.
some parts, but that's what I do.
If you're gonna fridge a character, do it with style.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I mean, she thought something was odd anyway because the lights were still flickering.
Yeah.
And she kind of tapped it before she went downstairs to check on whatever because she heard noise or something downstairs or
Maybe
whatever.
she was getting a glass of water. We don't know.
Who knows?
Just
Who
going
cares?
downstairs.
There you have it. But it's the big reveal, and then the house is on fire.
Maybe
and
she was getting a baby
the boys
bottle.
are running out, and so things are just happening. And then you fast forward 22 years, and you see young Sam, not in
God,
flannel,
they're babies.
With the girlfriend.
with the girlfriend, Adrian Padalecki. Oh,
Palicki.
Palicki.
Palecki.
Palecki. Yeah.
Palecki. I
No,
always-
they're not. They're
the-
not
the
really
two names,
related.
The two names are always so close. I
Yes.
always trip over. I trip over them both. But Adrian, whew, okay,
From Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Give me a
and
moment.
G.I. Joe.
yep,
Brenda's with me.
yep. Give me a moment.
How many more moments do you need?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
Carrying on. I mean, come on. It's Halloween, and she's got the hot nurse outfit on.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
I
that.
paused.
Sybil paused too.
Why
Damn.
not?
Yeah.
Salute. Anyway.
I will not. I won't say anything.
Sure. But
Beautiful woman.
Yeah, but you're establishing Sam is in this normal life. He's the the smart kid. He did really well in his LSATs. He's being encouraged. It looks like he's got his whole, but he can see there's something going on in the back of his head that he's concerned. Something's got him concerned.
Yeah, you don't find out about that concerned until episode 3.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Okay.
in regards to why he's so concerned in regards to going to that Halloween party.
Okay.
It's episode 3.
Well, now I'm gonna have to keep watching. Aren't
Yes,
I?
you do.
Yes, you do.
Damn you for getting me back started.
Episode 3 is Wendigo, right?
No,
No,
episode
2 is Wendigo,
3 is
3 is Bloody Mary.
Oh, okay.
And that's, like we were saying, the original concept was the two reporters investigating urban legends. You'll see that laced throughout the first season.
First season is
lots of
very
urban
different.
legends.
Lots of urban legends. The color palette is almost has a black and white
White
feel to it.
Yeah.
So
It's a
dark.
lot. It's a darker. Even when they're in bright sunlight, it's like all the colors are muted. It's very much more of a horror show in the very beginning. Though there's things later on that are just like, oh, wow, okay, that stepped over a few lines for me. But the first season has that feel, that really that stark.
The actual supernatural feel.
Right.
That's
It's
scary,
very-
haunted home.
Yeah,
It's going to be dark.
absolutely.
You have to use flashlights because why turn the lights on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no power out here.
There's also the fact that it's got also some of the worst episodes ever.
I don't
It
know.
does
Should I
has a
take the
couple
flashlight or the shotgun? Oh, those horror movies. And
Yeah.
like, I'm going to take the flashlight.
Let's go hide behind the chainsaws.
Do I run upstairs or out the door?
Why can't we just get into the moving
Car. The running car.
That was a great
It's a parody commercial.
Oh, I
Right?
know. this all sounds familiar to. Oh, I have seen it. Yes.
Yeah, there's a parody
It's like
commercial.
right behind him. No.
So the show becomes brighter, just different.
You guys have watched it more
Well,
intently
when you
than I
start
have.
bringing in angels and heaven and not just demons, yeah, it gets a little bit brighter.
Well, it's funny because I watched a couple episodes after the pilot, and in the third episode, one of the characters' names is Charlie, but it's not the Charlie that we think it is. So I'm like, every time it said Charlie, I'm like, where's Felicia Day? Where's Felicia Day? And it's not that person.
I miss Charlie.
See, we
Yes.
never established how spoilery we were going to get with this episode because we're talking about things seasons from now.
See,
Spoiler
right
alert.
now, as someone that
Spoilers.
doesn't know, if you keep it at whatever you're saying, I won't remember. I don't understand it now, and I won't remember.
Someday
further
there
down
will
the
be a
lane.
character named Charlie who's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Not going to be. She is awesome.
You can over the course of the series, the D&D nerd in me sees how the brothers level up. Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
Because in this first season,
They're
going to
green.
make references to demons, and you can see the fear in both of their eyes if there's a possibility of a demon on the horizon or some sort of demon that they're going to have to deal with. The both of them are genuinely afraid of it.
Well,
okay.
until a certain point in the series.
Well, that's the point I'm making.
Demons are very rare.
Right. And then all of a sudden, as it goes through, now they can kill 5 or 6 in an episode, and it's war for them, But it's how they evolve over time. You see the brothers leveling up in essence.
See, I like the way they've done the origin story. It was quick. They got onto a story.
Yep.
And I'm sure as the
get
episodes, you get more backstory.
Right.
But there was just enough in this episode.
Just enough for me to care about who they were and why and all that stuff.
Dean's attitude was very interesting in this first episode. How he was just kind of like very, like it is what it is, and snarky.
Well, he's the older brother, and that's how he handles it. He needs to look like this is nothing,
Right.
so that Sammy doesn't get scared. He always has to deal with it that way.
Oh, Sam's little thing with the woman in white's husband.
Okay.
Just the mind. He's like, this is what happened. This is what's causing this.
Well, you see Sam when Sam is questioning the guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you see Sam's intellect and his training at the same time
Because
he manipulated that guy and he showed no fear, and because he was questioning, he had the guy in his territory at that point. He was on the guy's property, but he owned the guy at the moment.
I'm talking about the end where he's like, this is kind of your fault.
Yeah. Okay. I pick up on that now. I see what you're saying.
And it's like, whoa, Sam, where'd that come from?
Right.
He grew up.
Yeah. But it was interesting just to see right from the beginning they had different styles.
Yes.
That I thought was interesting going back and watching because later the styles become more and more together. But in the beginning it was very different. Sam was the intellectual. Dean was
Kick ass, take names later.
but more comfortable in a lower class personas. When he created characters, it wasn't. And then later on, he's like going all out.
He got friends in low places.
But his first suit, and how uncomfortable.
They're like the
he
Blues
was.
Brothers.
And this was and Billy, this was the first time they used when Dean gives his name as Ted Nugent. That's going to keep on.
Okay. I saw that note where he gives himself like a rock star alias.
Always rock alias.
We were called Mulder and Scully at one point during the episode.
No,
he made a reference to the FBI
other
guys.
FBI agents. They say, "Hey, hello, Agent Mulder. Hello, Agent Scully." As they walk by, they're like looking at them.
And actually, you pointed out one blooper that I noticed as I was watching it. He's going through the cassette tapes, pulls out a Metallica tape, but AC/DC starts playing.
Yep.
Which annoyed me.
As our music guy, I'm sure it did.
You come to find out that Dean is a major Led Zeppelin fan.
Okay.
And that's all he
Yes.
cares about is Zeppelin, and anything else is secondary.
Yep. He does at one point say that Ramble On is one of his top favorite songs.
It's a great
Well,
song.
and
It is.
Angel rocks.
you can see definitely their different styles when they're in the library, and Dean's like hunting and
pecking on the typer.
And Sam's like, just go away. Pushes him away. And
that was the first scene
that they did.
ever shot, which
Okay.
which is
just
definitely
hysterical. But then, you definitely see that the research strength is Sam's because becoming a lawyer or going to law school, and
He's the college boy. He's
a
the
college
student.
boy, and Dean's like, I'm out learning things the hard way through actual experience.
I'm assuming there will be an episode or episodes to explain why Sam got out of the life and went to college?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And I like the fact that they just established it then. They didn't go further with it at that point.
I think, you know what, and we've talked about this before in other podcasts where we're sick of origin stories because it feels like there's just so much exposition in how Hero got from point A to point B, and can we just get to the point now? Like the last Fantastic Four movie was an hour and 10 minute or hour and a half trailer to the movie we wanted to watch that we never got to see. So to have this kind of a setting engaged quickly, that really kind of made a difference for this first episode for me. And you were just pointing that out, Billy.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and what I really liked is that you had the quick scene in the beginning that established this is the backstory, this is what's going on. And then after, when they first are leaving Sam's apartment and they're talking, and Sam's giving his reasons why he doesn't want to do this, he's giving more information, but it's not an info dump.
Yeah.
It's very organic. We're
And
walking,
it sounds
we're
like an
talking
actual conversation
between two brothers.
Not I'm explaining this to the audience. It's
Yeah.
I'm explaining it to my brother.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked about it. It was very organic
Yeah.
conversation.
And that happens throughout the entire series. It's not I have to explain this so the audience gets it. It's I have to explain it so the other character gets it. Where in a lot of other serials, there's stuff that are said that everybody in that room should know.
Yeah.
And that they're just saying it so that the audience knows. And you don't really get that in this show.
Yeah. And then later on, you get the BM moments.
Bowel movement?
The boy melodrama.
Oh, okay.
I was going to get
Okay.
I wasn't sure what she was going with either.
Just suddenly there's a big break to the bathroom? I don't know. What? I don't know.
It's something that's referenced, and everyone goes, bowel movement? No, boys melodrama.
She takes on an entirely different tenor with these two.
Yeah.
Subtext.
Yeah.
And remember, you can't spell subtext without SEX. Sorry, we're
The fan fiction for Supernatural is just it's bizarre.
Oh, this is actually from an episode.
I love the episodes about their fan fiction. Those are my favorite. Oh, when they're
God,
doing the play. Oh,
Yes.
I love
Yes,
that
that's
episode.
what we're quoting.
Yes.
The musical episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
brother. We were talking about the pilot today.
Sorry.
We have totally jumped 7 seasons.
Sorry.
See that, but
So-
that's the thing. That's the thing about this show now is it has
Slash
such a
fan.
tremendous fandom, and it has such a tremendous history now because it's going on 14 years. Now, have they announced that 14 is done, or are they thinking about 15?
We don't know yet. It
Yeah,
has-
it
It's up
hasn't
in the
been
air.
announced whether or not it's the end of
Okay.
it or not.
I would think, and I'm just going to throw this out there. After 14 seasons, they're going to end it and they're going to surprise everybody with it, and they're going to be, oh, by the way, we canceled it, so there's not going to be a 15. They want to try and surprise people with it, I think,
I don't know,
because
I think hitting a nice round.
what else is there left to
15
do?
seasons.
They've met. I can't even say
Okay.
it.
But what's interesting is this is the longest running North American fantasy show.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Because nothing is ever going to outpace Doctor Who. It's just
No.
going to be
No,
one of those things
right.
that happen. But as far as American, Canadian television,
Yes.
this is the longest lasting fantasy
Yes.
fiction show.
I
Gotcha.
mean, there's shows that were on longer, have been on longer in North America.
Yeah,
But
soap
this was
operas.
the longest fantasy show.
The Simpsons.
And it
The
wasn't
Simpsons.
until I jumped in to see Supernatural episode, season 14 that I forgot what happened at the end of 13. Then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So-
See, I never
You're not
finished
there.
12, so.
Yeah. Oh well.
But first things first, I got to go through
They
Jessica
had their
Jones and
40th
Luke Cage
birthday
and-
party.
Yeah, that's it. They did, actually. There was an episode where
Really?
that was involved.
What?
I was-
I didn't hear. I missed something.
They had they had their 40th birthday party.
No, they're not 40 yet.
No, they're not. They're in their 30s.
Well, it's 15 years. If it's truly 15 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think 15 years have truly passed for them, have it?
Well, I don't know. Were both of them in?
Yes.
Well, no, because there were times where one of them was gone, and you don't know how long that time
Right.
passed.
Well, how old are the actors?
No, they've mentioned how long.
They said
Yeah.
Dean was 26. We said that earlier. So 15 years later,
Dean
he's
is
41.
Jensen Ackles is was born in 78, so
Okay, so
he is
he's 40.
yeah.
Okay.
And Jared was born in 82.
All
He's
right.
what, 36?
12.
Yeah,
36.
because I'm
Yeah,
33
36.
and I was born 85.
36. So.
Wow, so they're
Damn.
legitimately 4 years apart.
Exactly. They were the
I
ages
just-
of their characters.
Yeah.
That's that I've always really liked. They were that, and they're each other's best friends.
They
Yeah,
are.
they really bond. You can tell the bond between the actors is displayed in the bond between the characters.
Oh yeah.
And their families, their kids, adore each other.
Oh yeah. Well, they've grown up together.
Jensen's older daughter JJ refers to
Jared.
Jared's two boys as her boys.
Her boys.
One time I was reading something that said that she hadn't seen them in like a week. She's like, I miss my boys.
Aw. But now we're going to rewind back to the beginning.
Yep.
The beginning. And
They had Supernatural, the anime series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
I own the first season of that.
how many seasons did it go?
I don't know.
Just one.
I think one.
so I own it.
Some of them are anime reworkings of episodes from the first season, and some of them are new.
Yes.
Do the actors voice it? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Jared does through the entire thing, and I
Jensen does through part of it.
Jensen
it,
had
yeah.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Weird.
so it's weird to listen to because it's not Jensen, and I'm like, come back, Jensen, I love you.
So what's the main bulk of this first episode? We're dealing with a mystery of men disappearing, and you see an incident where the ghostly, the woman she accosts and attacks and kills off this poor guy in a Volkswagen Cabriolet, which only reminds me, by the way, that's kind of on the list of dream cars for me, the Volkswagen Cabriolet. I've always wanted to get one, restore it, and then tool around with the top down. But, bygones. So you see that, and it establishes the mystery of the week. And then the boys kind of stumble into it because they're looking for Dad.
Right.
Yes.
And
Because this was the one Dad was looking at.
Right.
And it was strange initially because I thought like the woman on the side of the road initially was like leading them into like a den of vampires.
Right.
I mean, like
The way she was dressed.
the way she was dressed, and that she was like a blood slave to the whatever. And I'm like, no, don't do it,
Yeah.
don't do
Now,
it.
this was actually, it was like a combination between two different folk tales, the Mexican La Llorona and also the Woman in White, which is, which I listened to a podcast about stuff like this, and the Woman in White is one of the oldest American folk
Legends.
tales.
The jilted woman type of
No,
a
no,
thing?
that's that comes from the La Llorona.
I see.
With the woman who is hitchhiking.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the oldest versions, she's picked up by a carriage
Okay.
Yeah.
and then disappears as they pass
A
the
certain
cemetery.
line. Okay. Okay. Well, we have our own Lady in White myth here in Rochester,
Yes.
Yeah.
up by Duran Park. You also get your ceremonial first splutch in this first episode. The blood splattering. People are always saying the splutch. It's the thing they look forward to the most. Because it's usually in the teaser. I think there's only been a couple of episodes of Supernatural where somebody does not die a horrific death and get the blood splattering all over the place with that cannon shot of blood all over the place. So you get your first splutch, and and then you get your first mystery, and then the boys stumble upon the mystery looking for Dad, as I mentioned a moment ago,
And get run off a bridge.
and then get run off a bridge by their own car.
Possessed car.
But it's not the racist ghost truck.
No,
Yep.
the car becomes kind of a character on its own, Billy.
Yeah.
Same car,
has
they
its
keep
own-
the
It's
same
the
car.
same
Yes,
car
same
throughout the
car.
whole series, and that poor car gets just crushed on several occasions over the years, and always seems to come back nice, neat, and pretty.
Okay.
In fact, there's an entire episode from the car's point of view.
Oh,
Yes.
that sounds fun.
That's a really good episode.
It's a great
It
episode.
is a
It's
cool
called
episode.
Baby.
Of course, I really love the episode where they come to real life. Like now, they totally break the fourth wall.
Oh,
yes.
And
The
they
French
get in
mistake.
the car to try to drive away, and then they can't
They realize
leave.
it's not really working.
Yeah,
Because it was just a prop.
it was a
Yes.
prop car.
Because there's actually several versions
Of
of
Baby.
Baby.
Of Baby.
Yeah.
And we had a replica at the very first FC3.
Thor,
Thor the Impala was there.
brought to us by Experience Entertainment.
Yes, get that plug in because we love Kim and Jim.
Yep. Who looks like Bobby?
Yes, he does.
He does.
Bobby Ringer.
I
And, well, that's what he
never
touts himself.
thought of that.
Yes.
When he goes around to conventions, he calls himself
Bobby
Bobby Ringer
Ringer.
instead of Bobby Singer.
That never even occurred to me.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And he wears a flannel and
I've
a
talked
hat.
to the guy.
He looks like
He's
He
fantastic.
does. It's scary
Yeah,
too.
He's really fantastic.
He's a doppelganger.
Okay, now
Go ahead.
the show in general. Question about the show in general. Is it every week sort of a separate what we call in Smallville the Freak of the Week,
Monster of the Week.
Monster of
Yeah.
the Week? Like iZombie had a different, but as iZombie and as Smallville sort of went on in seasons, there became sort of an overarching
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
sort
This-
of theme.
This show
a
evolved
plot
like all the
line.
rest of them.
Okay.
There will
Yep.
always be
An
as
overarching
they move
thing.
forward with the show. There will be an arc that holds things together, and then eventually what happens is that the show, in my opinion, it switches. So it delves too far into the arc, and you lose the monster of the week. So when they
Yeah, you do.
it almost feels like the show understands that it's lost the monster of the week and tries to go back to it. And you're like, well, you're in the story now, and you're just going to walk away from the story for a week and go do the monster of the week. Bullshit. Come
it's
on.
a problem that Buffy had.
Yeah.
Buffy suffered from the same thing in later seasons and that's the way it always had. It was an overarching theme with Monsters of the Week and different episodes. And
then the script flips.
yeah, and then it kind of lost that and then tried to come
See,
back
I
to
like
it.
the Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
It's
sort
fun.
of feel of it.
It is fun. I like this format. I really do, where it's there's one theme that pulls you through, but with these little stories that feed into the bigger story. And I think the first season did that fairly well.
I don't remember much else because there's been so many seasons of this show now. They all kind of blend together in terms of
Yeah, I think I need to start rewatching every episode again.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you.
What I like to
Yeah, I
do
need to
is
do
I
that.
like to go, what is technically the overarching story for each season?
This and this one right now
Is
is
Find John.
Find John because this demon has come back. It's 22 years later.
Yep.
This demon is back.
It's all circled back around it. And what does it mean to have the yellow-eyed demon? You know, so what's that? What does that imply? What's going on there? That's the whole thing.
One of the best big bads of the entire show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow Eyes.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a great villain.
Oh, great. We're early enough on that we can't use his name.
No, we can't.
As a matter of fact, you don't even know it at first in this first episode.
You know.
There's a hint of something going on, but they don't even make reference to this guy
Right.
until like halfway through the season. I think is when you start hearing references to the yellow-eyed demon.
Voldemort
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much.
said his name.
There's
said it.
lots of
renamed.
spoilers, so if you have not watched Supernatural, we
And I'm
should have put-
trying to
we should put
decide.
that at the
this-
beginning
yeah,
of
we should have
the
put that
episode.
disclaimer. Maybe we'll have Sherry tag this.
Yeah.
tag the
Spoilers,
podcast.
spoilers.
Yeah.
alert.
That-
Spoilers.
Go watch Supernatural first before listening to this podcast.
I really like this episode, but I'm so behind in so many things. At what point do I just decide I can't watch this because I have 6 seasons of Arrow and
Yeah.
2 seasons of Supergirl?
If you
Okay.
ask my opinion, it's definitely worth watching, but I will warn you, there are a few incredibly weak episodes in the
yeah.
first
Yeah.
season. It is not a straight shot of wonderful. It's
Okay.
It is
this
not.
is a
It's
really
the growing pains.
yeah,
of
this
it.
is a really solid pilot. It's really solid. I mean, the fact who they got to direct it.
As I was watching it, all it made me do was go, I still have to finish Buffy. I still have to finish Angel. I still
Yeah.
have to finish Arrow.
Okay, Billy, I'll tell you, I've done 3 full rewatchings up to a certain point, and I still have stuff like that. That's how much I love this show. But you do get fatigue. I mean, any show that goes 13 seasons,
You get fatigued.
you get fatigue.
I've never watched X-Files except for that one episode we did.
Right, that we did the book club for.
and it was an awesome episode. I don't care what you guys think.
Good.
Honestly. You
What's
need
that
to
one?
at least make it to the beginning of season 4.
Because it has the best character introduction ever.
Yes. I remember watching that the first time watching that, you're just like,
Oh my God. That's a
what?
badass.
The first time Cass shows up,
Yes.
yes.
Badass.
he definitely makes an impression.
And what's neat about this show, Billy, is there's so many characters that were supposed to be one-shots. that just kept coming back.
Yeah, Cass was only supposed to be there for a
couple of
season,
episodes.
right? A couple episodes.
Bobby was supposed to be a one
Yeah.
character.
And he still comes back.
Several times even more.
Fonzie.
But then there's other characters that were supposed to be longer that didn't click and they just got rid of. And unfortunately, most of them are female characters.
That
I
has
love
been
how
your,
female
your
sheriff, the one sheriff.
the
Jody
sheriff,
Mills.
Jody Mills comes
yes.
Nothing had
I
better.
love her.
Nothing
Kim
had
Fields?
better happened.
No.
Yeah.
Kim Rhodes.
Kim Rhodes.
Cameron's.
Yeah,
nobody-
nothing had
that
better
better.
happened to my Jody.
And I like the
love
one
her.
that's like from Fargo. Don't you
Yes.
know?
back.
What?
Donna?
Donna.
Yes.
All right, yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
They have become best friends, those actresses.
Have they
Yeah.
really? That's
Yeah.
great.
Yes, they really have. They do a lot of stuff together. When I was trying to decide what shirt to wear, it was between my
I
Always
had that
Keep
one on
Fighting,
yesterday.
and I have a Wayward Daughters
So do
shirt
I.
from.
Nice.
They have their own charity.
Whatever
called
happened
Wayward
to the
Daughters.
spin-off?
Didn't get picked up.
Didn't get picked up?
No.
It's the supernatural curse. You've pointed this out in the past. Supernatural is not female friendly.
No.
In
No.
terms of the female characters. I mean, of course, women love the guys. I get, yeah, see there, thank you.
Yeah.
But, you
Yeah.
know,
Such a baby, though. I'm like looking at him from the pilot. I'm like, look.
He is so young.
They both are.
Oh, it's like, oh my God.
And it was
2 cases of fridging women in the first
Episode. Yes.
alone.
Yes.
They do not treat women well on that show.
They do not. They do not. Female characters get killed off very quickly, and they don't become recurring characters as male characters do. I mean, Joe was supposed to be a very long-term character.
Who's Joe?
Joe's the daughter of the
Ellen's
barkeeper
daughter.
hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so there's there's great female characters.
Yeah. And when they have them, they're amazing.
Yeah. Oh, they introduced one.
Rowena.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even talk about Rowena.
I love her.
I don't even want to talk about what they did to her. But like in season 12, they introduce a deaf hunter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
She
yeah.
is
She's amazing. She is awesome.
Yeah. She's just great.
She's just fantastic, and they solid characters. You get to love characters next to no time with this.
Yeah,
show.
and then
Yeah.
they kill them off. It's like, why?
Are they taking pages out of Joss Whedon's book in
I think
regards
so,
to Firefly? Did Fox cancel it? What? Did Fox cancel some of these
I have
actresses?
never gotten over Serenity.
No.
Never gotten over Serenity.
Never will.
Never ever.
How do
Very well.
reavers clean their harpoons?
They're running through the
Running
wash.
through wash. Oh,
The fact that Nathan Fillion told that joke in front of Alan Tudyk at
Yes.
a con, I
At a co-
love.
Yes.
that's just wrong.
But no, so
many ways.
Supernatural pilot.
Yeah.
They do the white lady scene, you know, the whole scenario there. They do the investigation. They show kind of the formula that the show will adhere to through the course of its lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, encounter the monster of the week, research the monster of the week, share the lore, try
Become
to
a
fix the
fake
problem.
agent of something or
Yeah.
other.
just they you know fake
Fake
being-
ideas.
Fake Rangers, fake
I love
Fake
that
Rangers,
role.
fake
Is there anything
FBI.
about
I
you
love
that's real?
the 2 real
boobs.
FBI
Yeah.
agents that come in and come back a few times.
You get
The
a
really
you get a
goofy
look
looking
at
ones.
the characters' personalities. So and kind of the dynamic between the two, and then you know you close off with
It's all there.
and
Yeah.
then you close off with pushing Sam over the edge to get him into the business again because he was
So get
resistant the
this.
entire time.
And it's like Dean knew to come back and save him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dean knew because I think Dean had the inkling that is always coming back to save Sam.
yeah.
That they have that
Every-
strong of a connection.
Every single thing that's going to carry through the entire show is here.
In that first
Yes.
episode,
Their relationship, how they conduct their investigations. Just everything is there. Everything you need to know about those characters are right there.
right. It's there's no mysteries. There's nothing.
No.
There's no like surprise in episode 6. We're going to suddenly give him this personality trait.
Nope. It's
No,
all there.
all right there in the first season. You were going to say something, Monk?
Oh no, I was thinking of Sam's usual line with when he's presenting research. So get this.
So get this, yes. He
Yeah.
never stopped saying that.
I know this is much later, but when they find their hangout, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The Men of Letters bunker.
Yes, the Men of Letters. He geeks out so hard over all the books that
Yes.
they have.
And the card catalogs.
Yes, it's just so amazing.
And
you
Dean,
really get
and
to see
Dean,
the nerd of
Dean
him.
geeks out over weapons
Yes.
and porn.
Yes.
Yes.
The Batcave.
And pie.
Big busty babes.
And pie.
Well, I mean, that's what he
Big,
geeked out
busty
in
Asian
the
In the episode,
in
yeah.
in the bunker.
The
Yeah.
bunker, when they first get there, and you really see just how much Sam misses school
Yeah.
when he sees all of these books and all of the references and all the maps and everything. He just gets so nerded out.
Right.
It's like you're bringing back that from the pilot of he got the high score in his LSATs and he's looking to go to law school and he really wants to be a lawyer. You get that back,
Right.
which is awesome.
But truly, his destiny is to
is to hunt. and
Yep.
kill and save the world.
Yep.
that was already fated for him, no matter how he's trying to deny it.
Fated for him before he was even conceived.
Like he says at the end, we got work to do.
Yeah, we're-
And then slams down the trunk. So, Billy, having never experienced this show before and watching this pilot, what'd you think?
I thought it was excellent. I like I said, I want to keep going, but it's frustrating.
Yes, it is.
There's so much good TV out there to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick which ones you want to spend your time with.
Like I think it was during the last episode. I'm trying to figure out how to DVR the entire Doctor Who.
It's not going to
catalog.
fit on our DVRs.
No.
It's really not.
You know, my dad already has a plan of DVRing and then every couple days watching several episodes and then DVRing more and then watching more episodes. Like we have a plan set up so that we
I don't have
can
enough time
this.
during the week to have that plan.
As
Well,
a,
it's gonna
as
be
a
a weekend,
collector,
like a
I just want to
Sunday.
have them for the end of
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's it right there.
Which may be soon.
Which may be very
Now,
soon.
is there any way that I could DVR it to a hard drive?
No.
Kinda
Probably.
Probably.
It's called a VCR.
An external hard drive, something like that.
I'm sure there's
you
a
get-
nerd
you
out there
get
who's
these
figured it
plastic-
out.
Yeah, you can probably convert it.
If you
and change
Google it, I'm
move
sure there's going to be a way to do
Well,
it.
you know what? My coworker was getting a new DVR box or whatever, and he used my external hard drive to save all of his programs and then put it back on his DVR.
So you can probably do that. You can move it over to
I
an
just
external.
don't have the technological know-how to do it, Christopher.
I saw
Don't look
VCR.
at me.
I saw VCR at Goodwill. I may go get just in
I might
and a
have one
bunch
at
of
home.
blank tapes
I might have a VCR at home for you.
and get a case of tapes and
Just start recording.
yeah, 6
or
hours
I-
at a time.
Or
I remember you doing that
Christmas.
when I
I'm
was
going to
at
start
school.
all the Best Buy.
I'm sorry, what?
I remember when you used to like tape stuff on our VCR.
Now it's called a DVR.
We don't have one anymore.
We don't.
We got rid of our DVR.
I don't even have cable. I
Dun,
know.
dun, dun.
Netflix and Hulu, baby.
Cut
Yep.
cable.
In the original draft, Dean was supposed to have lots of tattoos, but the show's budget couldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a funny tidbit, actually.
Should have hired an
Really?
actor with lots of tattoos.
That's interesting.
Like, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Where Dean would be the one with the tattoos.
Oh,
You can see that.
You know what? I mean, this isn't specifically the pilot, but what I love is that a lot of times you'll get references to old horror movies, at least especially in the first couple of seasons. The episode that they had Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
Oh, right.
At the very end, when she lets them go, and Dean looks at Sam and goes, I don't know, but I really want pea soup now.
Wasn't there an episode of Supernatural that Paris Hilton was in?
Yes.
And Snooki.
Snooki.
Yes, both of them have been.
Snooki is a crossroads demon.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
That's
Paris
appropriate.
Hilton was a possessed wax figure.
Sounds about
So
real
she
life to
played
me.
real life.
Yeah,
She played herself.
She played herself.
She's not as bad of an actress as you might think.
Oh, she is.
No,
She's
really?
typecast. She plays herself. She's good.
Nemo,
She's very
Nemo
good at
was
playing
in one of
herself.
Nemo was in the first season.
Yeah,
Who?
The little boy who did the voice of Nemo in Finding Nemo. He was in an episode.
I
Nice.
think it was Bugs.
No, that was the actor who eventually played Alfie.
Right.
Sam Driel. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I think
So-
I've watched 4 episodes.
In the final analysis of this episode, we all here all 6 of us in this room right now, recommend you watch Supernatural if you have not done so already. And if you have, go watch the first episode again because it really sets things up. And if you've been a regular fan, it gives you an opportunity to go back and see how it started and see what Sherry was saying, that everything that you're going to see for the series is in that one episode.
Yeah, I've watched 5.
You've watched 5.
I've watched 5 since
she holds up her hand so excitedly. She's like,
since I got my homework for the week.
I got my 5 years
old.
old.
What day did I get my homework?
I don't remember.
What day was it? Tuesday?
I think so.
Yeah, since Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I've watched 5 episodes of Supernatural.
Nice.
Yes. 3 of them were like in one day.
I'm all done with my true crime stuff right now, so I think I might end up turning Supernatural back on when I go to bed.
I got to go through Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Exactly.
I haven't started any of those yet, and I'm afraid to start them and get addicted.
And they say the second season of Iron Fist is excellent.
Oh,
Tanya just finished it.
God, I just finished it. You do not see the ending coming.
It's surprising because the first season sucked.
Yeah,
I heard that.
First season was horrible.
The first season was
rough.
not horrible. It was disappointing.
It was rough
It was
because
slow.
it seemed to pull too much out. They could have done it in like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's one of those.
And then random bank security guards kept beating up Iron Fist.
Yeah, that was interesting. It's like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be like
you're
badass?
Yeah.
But you're not. Never mind. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's a couple things I want to talk about. We're also going to talk about some events. We're going to do the business, and then we have our question of the week. Groovy tunes. Hey, so off the cuff, recently in the past couple of days, it was announced that Henry Cavill is out as Superman in the DCEU. Is that a confirmed thing, or is that just...
he says that he could be back.
Frankly, I think it's bullshit because he's one of the best things, aside from Gal Gadot. I think he's one of the best things in the DCEU. He was consistent. I think the only thing he suffered from was bad writing.
He was fine as Superman.
Bad writing in the stupid mustache.
Yeah,
the stupid
bad
mustache gate.
CGI.
But seriously,
it's not fall. He wandered the earth like a hobo.
I know, my God, it was amazing. So I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts about it, gang. So when you hear that, feel free to make commentary on the posting for this particular episode, because that one caught me off guard.
I think they're saying by the time they get around to another Superman movie, he'll be aged out of being Superman. So I think that's the problem, because I don't think they have plans for Superman for another 3 or 4 years.
Other than Justice League type stuff.
Yeah.
Are they making another Justice League? Is there another movie in the works right now?
It's not on the radar as of yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Unless he shows up in Aquaman, which is coming soon.
Yeah. Jason, yeah, there's the girls.
No.
Yeah.
And you know what the worst part is? As much as Lana's in love with Jason Momoa, that's not what she's most looking forward to about it.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Mira.
Mira.
Amber Heard.
However you pronounce her name.
Mira.
I love her.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Amber Heard, because Amber Heard is one of those actresses where you never quite know what you're going to get.
But she looks great.
She's gorgeous doing it. Every single part she's in, she's sexy as hell. But is she a wooden delivery, or is she going to be very interesting and dynamic? It's. I never know what I'm going to get.
And why do
with
they
her.
have to put the big bubbles around them to talk? They live underwater.
I don't know.
It made it much more expensive to have bubbles around them to talk to each other.
I don't get it. So I don't understand these things.
I don't know.
But then again, it's the DCEU, and that makes me scratch my head on a regular basis.
Just supposed to go boop, 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 and then a whale shows up.
There you go, and then a whale shows up. I don't talk to fish. I talk to the water.
You know, it's funny. Not too long ago, Lana and I were driving, and we both enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And then we sat there one night driving home from, I think, Derby practice, and completely tore the movie apart.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that we hated and annoyed us. And we're like, and yet we still like this movie.
I still haven't seen it.
It's not a good
Harley
movie.
Quinn.
It's not.
Harley Quinn is what makes that movie.
She's great.
If
She's
she wasn't
Margot
in
Robbie,
it, then
yeah.
it would have fallen apart.
I think so too.
You know,
Because
I
I don't
haven't
think
even-
I don't think Will Smith's shoulders were up to carrying that movie.
No.
I've
No.
heard such bad things about it that I still haven't.
If you watch it, watch the extended cut.
Okay.
Because a lot of what they cut out were really great Harley scenes that
Okay.
really, I'm just like, oh, that's
Even
such
more
great
so
scene.
than what she has in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a great thing. There's a great scene where she's psychoanalyzing everybody in the team
Yeah.
in a very malicious, nasty way, and
Yeah.
it's so funny. And I'm just like, that's her. She's a psychiatrist. She would do that.
Yep. Yeah. There's so much, and we've talked about the DCEU on several occasions. There's so much about it that's just gone horribly wrong. I mean, there's a lot of things that are promising, a lot of things that were right, but then there's so much that just went.
They just need to
wait,
stick to
what?
TV.
Speaking of
They
And
really
Wonder
do.
Woman.
of
Yes.
DCU that's gone wrong, I'm really frustrated because they have the new streaming service.
Yeah.
And about a month ago, they had this deal for whenever since they announced it, where you could sign up for
$10 a month or something?
Well, I think it's like $7.99 a month. But if you signed up ahead, you'd get basically 15 months for the cost of 9 months.
Okay.
So it's $75 for 15 months. And I was going to sign up, and I was here at work, and I started going through the process, created a password. Now I'll do it later at home, and I didn't. So I didn't finish. So I go back to it, and it wants my email and password. Shoot, I don't remember the password. They had the little link. It will not send me the email so I could sign up.
Oh, no.
So I sent them, through the contact, I can't get this password. You're not sending me the emails. Can you please help? I really do want to sign up for this deal. They send me an email back from one of their technical specialists
Oh, goody.
with the same link that I'd been using that
Doesn't
hadn't been
work.
sending me the emails. So I said, have you read my email? I am not getting this my password reset, and I'd like to, and they didn't, and now I missed the deal. So DC, you can go screw yourself. I got too much to watch anyway.
There it is.
Well,
There it
do you
is.
think he could email the Lego company thing for
Yeah, there
my
you go.
my
For
Miss
the switch bait and switch thing?
bait and switch that I thought I was getting the
She
Millennium
thought she was
Falcon?
getting the Millennium Falcon set for
I
$100.
saw that. What did you get?
Yeah, I got this little teeny tiny army truck with missiles
And
on
it was
the back.
fake Legos.
Yes,
it wasn't even real
it's
Lego.
mini bricks, and there was only 58 pieces, not the 7,541 that I
Wow.
thought I was ordering.
Getting from the Millennium Falcon.
And their email. Oh, get this. Talk about bait and switch.
BaitandSwitchLegos.com.
It says,
Yeah.
so sorry for the inconvenience. Maybe the mistake is made by the shipping staff. We can reship the items to you, but you should return the item that you got back to us. Then we can reship. If you return, you should pay too much shipping fee because we're international trade. It'll cost you $35 for the shipping fee and the tax of customs. How about you keep it? And you can send it to your family, your friend. They will be happy, and you can just pay us $20 so we can reship the items to you ASAP.
So we screwed you once.
If you
Let me see if we can
contact
get you
your
to screw us
bank,
again.
you'll have a bad reputation with your bank because that was the second email that I got from them.
What? You
Because
have a bad reputation with your bank if you contact your bank.
Yes.
That's wow.
Seriously,
Scare you into not.
yeah.
That was the second email I got from them. The first one was the same thing except for you can send it to your family or friends and they will be happy. We'll refund you 20% to you, and then you can keep the item and avoid the loss.
Seriously,
So,
your debit card info that you had trouble with at
It's
the
a
con,
totally different.
I still think it's a coincidence. I bet it's them.
It's two different. It was two different cards.
Oh shoot! Well,
This was
check,
my credit
check
card.
on
The
that
other-
card too.
I did. I've checked 3 times on this card. But I'm like, so Friday night, I started the dispute with my credit card company, and they're working on it to get me back my $124.
Good.
But it was a deal too good to be true. So our listeners, those Facebook links where you think you're getting a good
great
deal, a great deal,
Guess
it
what?
is too good to be true.
There you go.
Don't do it, especially if it says Lego. And it said Lego. It said Lego. I have the picture. It confirmed the email.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, that site was spam.
Yeah.
And then the site the website is now a different website, and
Well, they got your
Things like that.
$124, so now they're going to go off trying to hook somebody else.
And because I've seen a lot of comments, they're like, "Oh, tagging this person, tagging this person, tagging this person," and it's not. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Which website are you having problem with, Chris?
What website am I here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's-
www.playboy.com at the moment. They're not taking my credit cards anymore. It's amazing.
because we've canceled them.
Oh, damn.
He was having problems with www.fc3.org. That's what he was having issues with earlier today.
Yeah, I was.
It was sponsorship at, not sponsorship dot.
Shh. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know how to read.
We have an event coming.
We do have an event coming up, don't we? To get back on track.
We've been derailed.
October 27th and 28th at the Grease Ridge Center Mall, Flower City Mini-Con. Exhibitors, vendors, and artists. Tables are going to be there for the weekend for only $75. If you're interested, contact Brian at, are we ready? Brian at FC3ROC.org if you're interested. We'd love to have you on board with us. As always, we're going to take over the theater wing of the Grease Ridge Center Mall. Right there by the Lollipop Farm.
Oh, the puppies
and the kitties. And we're going to do a little slice of what we do at the big show. All right? So you're going to have your vendors. You're going to have your guests. Michael Koski from The Walking Dead is going to be on board with us again, creating shenanigans throughout the mall, having a good time. We'll have our costume contests.
I don't want to be on the leash for him.
It's okay.
Someone else has to leash
I'll stick
him.
Tiger on him. It'll be great. And we'll have our costume contest, our gaming area, and all sorts of good stuff. So, as usual, it's the big show, but just a little shrunk. That's all. Like, we threw it in the dryer for a little too long, and then we stuck it in the mall.
It's been in the cold water?
It's been in the cold water. Coach, there's been some shrinkage. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You're not at all.
I just went to the Seinfeld episode, so.
I was in the pool. Anyway. When you're not done, when you're done making fun of us, and if you still want to be a part of FC3 Monkey Business and the Mighty Monkey Corporation, there are a few ways of doing that. The first is to become a sponsor. We have sponsorship levels of all kinds and are willing to create custom sponsorship packets. So contact us at sponsorships@fc3roc.org. The next way to do it is by supporting us on Patreon. Please check us out at Patreon at www.patreon.com/FC3ROC. All membership levels will include access to the Patreon-only blog, plus tons of great perks at all levels. Want to help others find the show? Please leave us a review wherever you listen to us. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Podbean, YouTube, and Stitcher. Is there a place you find your podcast and you can't find FC3 Monkey Business? Let us know, and we'll see about fixing that up for you. And as always, follow us on Twitter at FC3MB Podcast. If you do, say hi. We love it when you say hi. And now...
Can you hold off for just 1 second on the question of the
Why,
week?
are you still coughing?
No. Well, Sherry, will you put the link back up for our monkey wear?
Yes, absolutely.
I ordered
We
my
got monkey
monkey
gear.
wear the other
I want
day.
to get some too. Yeah.
I ordered.
We now have our own merchandising system,
Yes.
so you can get T-shirts and hats and hoodies and all sorts of cool stuff with the Mighty Monkey logo.
It's almost hoodie season.
I got
Yes.
I got a
Yes,
monkey
yes.
business hoodie. And then I got a Mighty Monkey Corporation
Have you gotten it yet?
T-shirt.
Has it
No,
arrived?
I just ordered it the
Okay.
other day. That was before my credit card was hacked.
Okay.
And then I got a hoodie for my mom.
Gotcha.
So
I can tell you what the address is. If
Tell
people
us
wanna
what the address is,
find
Sherry.
It. Just give me 1 second, and
Because
will
I want the one
pull
with the
that.
3 monkeys on it.
that's what I have. I have the black hoodie with the 3 monkeys on it.
Yes.
Is that the
okay.
logo for the podcast?
Yes.
Three Monkeys? Okay, cool.
Okay, so it's at FYEAH printing.com /collections/mighty-monkey.
Okay, Mighty-Monkey.
Yes.
But it's collections/Mighty-Monkey.
I'm on a podcast that has merch.
You're on a podcast that has merch. That is an official thing. We have evolved in season 3. We now have merch.
Yeah. I ordered it Friday.
That is
Awesome.
amazing. I can't wait to
Awesome.
see it. I want to see what it looks like.
I know.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll look like a Lego set. I just got a dirty look.
And
All right.
Remember, you're not.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
what?
It does look like the Millennium Falcon.
What happened? You okay?
Dead air.
Is that out of Oregon?
I'm not sure why.
It's $115.
What's $115?
My order today was $115. That's what I just gave myself back on my credit card.
Oh,
I didn't recognize
what was the name?
Luann
That's
Evans.
her name.
Oh my freaking lord!
That's her name.
I didn't know.
You just
just canceled my order. Jeepers! I didn't recognize it. I'm so such an idiot. Son of a monkey's uncle.
So you weren't hacked.
I was not hacked. Son of a monkey's uncle.
This may be the greatest episode ever.
Darn it! I didn't recognize it.
Yes,
I
her
got
name is
nothing.
Luann. Yes.
And
Luann.
it's Portland, Oregon. I didn't recognize that. I'm sorry, Lynn. I didn't mean to badmouth you. I thought I was hacked.
Well, now you have to fix that.
Now I have to reorder my shit. Son of a gun.
And you also have to write her a letter of apology
I do.
explaining.
I will send you her email address.
I had no clue. And now I have to get a new debit card because I didn't recognize the transaction. That's the thing.
So, folks, if you order the Mighty Monkey merch
it's coming from Lynn Evans and F. in Oregon.
in Oregon, okay? So if you see a weird charge, just ask Tanya about it.
Yeah, she'll let you
I'm
know.
so sorry.
I've got nothing at the moment.
Oh my god.
I am just talking to not have dead air at this stage, but I really have nothing.
You need to get your butt back over there, kid.
No,
I
Tanya
Gonna
needs a
give her a
hug.
hug.
I think this has become my favorite clean joke of the week.
I'm the joke of the week. I'm the joke of the week.
All right.
Get back over there.
So get back over there because we have a question of the week. What is your favorite clean joke?
Just happened.
Yeah, that's How do you confuse Tanya? You put Mighty Monkey merch in front of her. That's the punchline there, apparently. I'm sorry, honey. We love you. But we're gonna let you. We're gonna go to Alana.
Yeah,
Alana,
we'll start at this end of the table.
I'll go first.
good, because I don't have one. So carry on.
Wow. Okay. So, two drunk men leave a bar.
Okay, they
And
leave the bar.
Yes,
Okay.
they leave a bar, and they've been trying to best each other all night. Mm-hmm. One says to the other, they see a couple of bricks, and one guy says, "I bet you I can throw that red brick farther than you can throw that yellow brick."
Okay.
And the other one goes, "You're on." So the one guy picks up the red brick, and he throws it as hard as he can into the air, and then he goes 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Brick hits the ground. So the other guy, he picks up the yellow brick, he throws it as hard as he can, and goes 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000. Some time passes, and then he's just like 41,000, 41 1,000,
Okay.
42 1,000. Wait, where is this going?
I don't know. You're the one telling the joke.
I don't know anymore either. I thought I
I
knew.
think you messed it up.
I think I did.
Oops.
Okay. You think about it. We'll
Think
come
about it.
to-
Get to the punchline. See, the brick is still sailing. All right. The only thing I can think of is that there's an Amish family that once a year they make the trip into town and they go to the local mall. And the mall had changed in the year that they were away from town. So it was actually this new big monstrous thing, like, a couple like we've seen in the past. And so it's the first time the Amish family has seen such things as escalators and elevators and things like that, but they're not understanding what it is. And there's the father and the son are just standing there looking at this, and this old woman walks in, and the door slides shut, and the elevator goes away. And they're like just trying to figure out what's going on here. And all of a sudden there's a ding, and the doors open up, and this young woman walks out. And the son looks at it, and he's just marveling at like, "Dad, what is that?" "I don't know. Go get your mother."
We've just lost our one Amish.
Oh, no. Has that brick landed yet?
No.
No,
it's
okay.
not.
Billy, do you got anything?
Yeah, mine works for about a week every year, sometime in late January, early February.
Uh-huh.
It's Chinese New Year, so
Okay.
this year It's the year of the dog.
Nice.
I'm still writing year of the rooster on my checks, though.
Nice.
Sherry, do you have one?
I'm trying to decide. Can you come back to me?
I
Can I
can.
decide which one I want to do?
It's
Yeah,
we're
I
running
know,
thin
I know,
here, you
I
know,
know.
at this point. Tanya,
Yeah.
do you have a clean joke?
Yeah, I do.
You looked it up on Google?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was going to tell you guys a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Like it.
I'm sorry, I
Very
stole
well.
that from Facebook this
That's
week.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, that works.
That's
I
okay.
like it.
I like that. How about you?
And I'm writing my
Sybil?
email to her right now.
Yes. Good.
All right, so I have one. It's really corny, but I absolutely love it.
Uh-huh.
So a duck walks into a bar,
Okay.
goes up to the bartender and goes, "Got any grapes?" Bartender says no, so the duck leaves. The next day, same duck comes back, goes up to the bartender, "Got any grapes?" Bartender says no, so the duck leaves. Comes back the next day, "You got any grapes?" Bartender says no, and the next time you come in and ask, I'm gonna nail a hammer or hammer a nail to your beak to the.
I've heard this one.
I'm gonna nail your beak to the bar.
Okay.
So the duck leaves. Comes back the next day. "Got any nails?" "No." "You got a hammer?" "No." "Got any grapes?"
Nice. Okay, so I'll do mine then.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite jokes.
Okay.
This woman is going onto an airplane, and she has a parrot in a cage, and she has no family, she has nobody, she's outlived everybody. All she has in the world is this parrot, and she loves this parrot. This joke takes place a while ago, back when there was smoking and non-smoking sections on airplanes.
Right.
So she sits down in her seat, and she is in the first seat of the non-smoking section.
Okay.
So plane takes off, turned off the no smoking sign, and the guy in front of her, who is in the last seat of the smoking section, pulls out a huge cigar and starts smoking it. And he's huge puffs of smoke, and smoke's filling the area, and the parrot starts coughing. And the woman's getting concerned.
That's an excellent parrot impression, by the way.
Thank you. Getting very concerned because she's never heard her parrot make this sound before, and she's worried about him. So she turns to the guy and says, "Look, sir, your cigar smoke is really bothering my parrot. Could you please stop smoking?" And he's like, "No, I paid for a smoking seat. I'm going to smoke. Forget your parrot. What do I care?" And keep smoking. And parrot keeps coughing. Woman's getting more and more upset and keeps asking him, please stop smoking. You're going to kill my parrot. They start going at it, yelling at each other. Stewardess comes over. "All right, what's going on here?" And they explain the whole thing, and that and they're screaming at each other. They're screaming at the stewardess. Got to have a little bit of imagination for this joke. So she's like, "Okay, that's it. I'm done." And she grabs the cigar. She grabs the parrot cage, opens the window. This is the imagination part.
Okay.
And throws them both out of the window, slams the window shut, and says, "Both of you sit down and shut up, and I don't want to hear anything more from either of you for the rest of the flight." And the old woman sits down, and she's just devastated. She loved this parrot. This parrot was so awesome. And all of a sudden, she hears little rapping. She looks over at the window, and there's the parrot knocking on the window. And you'll never guess what he had in his mouth.
The cigar.
The yellow brick from Lana's joke.
That's teamwork.
It's a 1-2.
That's
Mother-daughter 1-2
teamwork.
punch. Mother-daughter 1-2 punch.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Nice. That's good.
Okay. I bow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really listen to the joke before, because I was writing my email, so I totally missed Alana's joke and then half of hers.
We'll relate back to your joke. You liked their joke.
Yeah.
Wow, you two.
That was outstanding.
That was good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that was actually, I've never done this joke before.
I told it to her because Chris was supposed to do this with me.
Okay.
And then he got sick and couldn't come. And so I'm like, "Lana, if you don't feel comfortable, I can pick another joke. But this is a great joke." And she's like, "No, I'll do it."
That's hilarious.
That's good.
Good Lord.
No, I was too busy updating my status on Facebook.
Yeah, I
that
saw
was
that. And I've already
not
laughed at
hacked.
it. Okay. So
And
now
you still don't have any Legos.
No, and she still don't have the Legos she wants.
No, but Riker wants the little new Legos that I got. I'm like, no.
Anyway. So
I'm
that's
done.
that. And that's enough for this
Check,
week.
please.
Check, please, table 1. And that has been Monkey Business, a product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation. Purveyors and producers of the Flower City Minicon, coming at you on October 27th, 28th at the Grieschridge Center Mall. Like us on Facebook, love us on Twitter, follow us on Patreon, follow us to wherever we lead you, and we'll show you where the entertainment is. It's been great hanging out with you once again. We hope to see you all soon. You take care, and have a great week. Poor Tanya. We love you, honey. It's okay.
Oh, that's just hilarious.